So welcome to the first session of Meditation for Resilient Educators. There's a tangible sense of energy and community when they meditate together as a group, and I'm hoping that energy translates when we meditate online. So we'll see how this goes. I'm grateful for Glenn and Lori joining us here today so we can meditate together. So thank you for being here. Before we begin, and in the spirit of truth and reconciliation, we acknowledge that we are on the customary and traditional lands of the Indigenous peoples of this territory. We also acknowledge that some great harm has been done, and it is now our task and our job to unlearn, listen, and then to speak up. Whenever we start any practice, it's always good to set an intention for why we're doing what we're doing. So for Glenn and Lori, for me, for anyone who's watching, what is your intention for being here today? So silently think about it to yourself and name an intention. Maybe it's a break, a timeout. Maybe you want to learn more about how to train your mind to be an ally for anxious times ahead. Maybe you just want to learn some basics of meditation. So think about what your intention is for today. And then embracing the spirit of gratitude, I would love, Lori and Glenn, if you could share an educator who has greatly impacted you in your life. So who'd like to go first? You choose.
You want to go first? You go first? Okay.
I guess I could think of back to when I was in high school, actually, my drafting teacher, Mr. Gilbank, who I think in a way I kind of turned out a little bit like, because he kind of inspired me for my love of architecture, which I went on to study and then became, it's not really drafting anymore, it's tech design. But he was all back in the 80s, he was also a gamer like me, and we talked computer games like I do with my kids in my classes. It's very weird how sort of similar we are in a way, and he was a great mentor and teacher. Yeah,
that's awesome. Great, thank you.
For me, it was a university professor that I had. I had needed to go back and get my qualifications ramped up a bit because my average wasn't high enough to get into a master's program. And so I went back for a year, and I remember a couple of times just thinking, okay, I can't do this. I was working at the same time, and he just kept on encouraging me. You got to keep, push yourself. You need to throw your hat into the ring if you're interested in applying for the master's program. You don't know what your options are going to be unless you do throw your hat into the ring. And so he just was really like, when I start getting doubtful or when I feel like I can't do something, I hear him in the back of my head saying, you need to push yourself, and then also, be able to sort of have that kind of hope, I guess. And so, yeah, he was just, I just always remember him for giving me that little bit extra push that I needed.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. Okay, before we actually start and do a meditation, we're going to do a little bit of stretching because tense bodies don't sit very comfortably. So we're just going to do a couple easy stretches. And the first one's going to be just shoulder shrugs. So we're just going to bring our shoulders up to our ears and then back down and then up and then down. If you want to add your breath, you can inhale up and exhale down. Inhale and exhale. And one more. Okay, and then letting that go, let's just stretch our hands out to the sides. And imagine you're trying to knit your shoulder blades back together behind you, behind your back. And then you're going to bring the arms forward and just take one elbow and bring the other hand across your shoulder and just pat your back a little bit. Congratulations. You're thanking yourself, congratulating yourself for taking some time out today. Just for you, feel a nice stretch along here. And then unwind. Shoulder blades again, back towards each other. And then crisscross the other way, grab the other elbow and say, good job, you're taking care of me today. And then unwind and just relax. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna do a basic breath meditation today. So if we're going to try and train our active toddler mind to come back to attention when it runs off, and gets distracted by future worries or past regrets or mistakes, then we have to do a little bit of training. So if you had a distracted toddler, you gently take them by the hand without judgment. You would just say, come on back. We're going to do this again. Come on back. And toddlers are amazing. They're creative and energetic, but you wouldn't give them the keys to your car, right? And so our mind is just like that, creative, energetic, but it doesn't need to have full control of our life. We need to be able to train it to become an ally to support us when things get rough and things get a little bit seemingly overwhelming or out of control. So I'm going to give sitting postures for sitting on the ground or something like that, but do whatever works for you. So my suggestion is you find something to sit up on. So your hips are going to be higher than your knees. So it could just be a cushion. It could be a pillow off your bed. And for those of you who find it difficult to sit in a position like this because you have sore knees or hips, you can be sitting up on a chair. It works just as well. The goal is just to have a place where it's a solid place to sit, where your hips are higher than your knees. And now in whatever position you're sitting in, can you take your pelvis and roll it forward? So you're sitting on the front edge of your sitting bones. And I saw it happen with both Glenn and Lori. As soon as they did that, their spines got taller and longer. Let's go backwards and do the opposite. Roll onto the back of your sitting bones and look at you just squish down, no room to breathe. So back up, roll the pelvis forward, stack your shoulders over your hips, your ears over your shoulders. Let your arms fall wherever they're comfortable for you. You can crisscross your legs in front of you, or if that's uncomfortable, if you are on the floor, you can stretch your legs out in front of you. You can extend the crown of your head towards the ceiling and then drop your chin just slightly so the back of your neck is long and soft. Now with your bones stacked all on top of each other, see if you can let your skin and your tissue just fall over this nice stable structure you've created with your body. Imagine like a soft sweater that's hanging off a wooden hanger. The wooden hanger is the form and everything else just softens and relaxes over it. If you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes or just let your gaze fall softly on the floor or the spot in front of you. Relax your shoulders down and away from your ears. Soften your jaw. You can let your teeth be parted slightly and let your tongue be quiet. Soften your throat. Let your arms just hang if they can. And soften your belly. And then notice if there is any obvious tension anywhere in your body. And see if you can invite that tension to release and soften as your body continues to hang over the stable frame that you've created. This noticing and releasing of tension can be done anytime throughout the practice. And let's begin with 2 or 3 deep belly breaths, filling the belly and out with a sigh. Now allow your body to settle into this posture. And invite your breath to settle into your body. And now we're going to invite our minds to settle on our breath. So using your mind's eye, you're going to breathe naturally in and out through the nose. No need to regulate or change your breathing, but you're just going to watch it with your mind's eye. Watching the inhales and the exhales. Can you notice when one ends and the other begins? When your inhale ends and your exhale begins, watch it with your mind's eye. Watching your breath is not nearly as engaging as scrolling on your phone, say. So this is the part where practice comes in. Your mind wants to wander and look for something else. So gently, without judgment, just bring it back to the inhale and the exhale. And if a distracting thought comes in, just imagine that you put it on a cloud and it just floats by in the sky on a breezy day, and then come back to your breath. And if it helps to lengthen the time between distracting thoughts, you can say to yourself, inhale as you're inhaling and exhale as you're exhaling. Your breath is like a magnet for the present moment. So when you drift off, just come back to your breath. The present moment is waiting right there for you. And now see if you can follow one full breath cycle with undivided attention, letting the thoughts go by as you start the very beginning of an inhale all the way to the end of the exhale. And if you've drifted off somewhere in between there, it's fine. Without judgment, just come back to your breath. And now I invite you to take several deeper, fuller belly breaths. Right from the bottom of your abdomen, fill, and then fully exhale. And do that several times. And if your eyes are closed, you can slowly open them, keep them soft. You can move gently, maybe stretch or uncross legs. That feels better. Or if you're comfortable where you are, you could just stay a little bit longer while we finish out the session. So if you're new to meditation, that might have been a bit difficult for you, and you might be judging yourself that your mind was all over the place when you were in such a calm position. But that's precisely what mindfulness is in meditation. Every time you had to draw yourself back, you were aware of not being present and you became present. So even if it is only for a second, a minute, whatever it was, you were in the present moment and you trained your mind, even with just a short 5-minute meditation like that. And as we head for the anxious times ahead, we don't know what's coming, things we're not in control of. That's what we need to do, is be able to bring our mind back from all of the worries. So I want to express gratitude for the traditions and teachers who have informed this practice that can nourish us and guide us towards more resilience. And I'm also grateful to Glenn and Lori for meditating with me. I really appreciate you taking time out to do this. And I hope we can practice again later on. Thank you for whoever is watching this, that you've taken some time out for you today to meditate and take care of yourself. So please share this video with any resilient educators who could benefit from this grounding practice, and we'll see you next time. Be well. Namaste.